What's going on, everybody? I'm Bryan McClay from... Whoa, we lost ourselves there. Wow. Let's redo this. What's up, everybody? I'm Bryan McClay from CBSI Presents Tales from the FlipSide. I'm joined by the one and only Peter Renna from comicbookinvest.com and toyinformer.com. We're here to knock out a quick Hot 10 comics list for February 28th, 2020, brought to you by the one and only Ben Stein. So for those of you guys that might not know, if you want to find this comic list, you can go on over to comicbookinvest.com, where you can also find this awesome variants like this one on sale now, either at comicbookinvest.com or IG Comic Store. This is the Wolverine #1 black and white variant by Scott Williams. Just 400 hand-selected copies. This is a pretty cool comic, so make sure you go and check that out. What's going on, Peter? You got any new articles coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm still working on that foreign one. It's been a chore. Real job has been killing me lately, so I haven't been able to have the free time to work on it as much as I wanted to, but it's coming along.
That's okay, man. That's okay. As long as you got it going. Real life sometimes takes precedence over our comics life, so we'll be looking forward to it. That's for sure. How's everything going over at Toy Informer?
Yeah, not too bad. Still just trying to backlog with some of the waves.
Oh yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff, is looking at all the old school waves and
definitely
all the lists. And
I got 2 years of Transformers done now, so got to start in on 1986 soon. And might start in on G.I. Joe.
That's my favorite stuff, man. That year from like 85 to like, I don't know, 85 to like 90 maybe is when, to me, toys were at its best.
Absolutely.
So, all right, guys. So if you guys like any of that stuff we're talking about, you can check it out at toyinformer.com or go check out comicbookinvest.com for all your speculation and investment needs. We're going to get straight into the list here. We're going to start off with the Golden Age book that Ben always likes to spotlight, a cool Golden Age book for the week. And this week is an interesting one. I always get this one wrong for some reason, just because the cover, the trade dress, I guess, on it is kind of weird, but it's GI in battle. Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
So GI in battle is the name of this Golden Age book, and it's #5. And basically, what Ben says is, what most of us already know, that Overstreet Price Guide seems to be lost in the Stone Age. They had a value for this book in an 8.0 set at about $50, and a 7.5 sold this week for $2,500.
Craziness.
Wow. Again, Golden Age, if you guys don't know, you need to learn and figure it out, because, man, these Golden Age books just keep bringing in money. So this one is very interesting. Our second honorable mention, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is DC versus Marvel Comics #1. I remember when this book came out. It was such a big deal when it came out. This was when comic book stores were at its all-time craziness. And it's just a cool book, a cool idea, but that's not the reason that this book is getting hot. The reason this book is getting hot is all these rumors about 5G, DC's 5th generation storyline, and if it doesn't work, they're going to shut down publication, and Marvel might buy it, and it's just crazy.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen. And if it does, I don't think we're going to see the two merge. I think if this really ever happens, what we're going to end up seeing is maybe Disney buying the publication rights and just leaving them. You know what I mean? Let them continue. I don't think it'll be under the Marvel banner. It might be under a Disney banner, but I don't think that it would just be stupid for them to merge them.
Yeah, no, it would be too much. There's no way they can do any of their characters justice if they were to do that.
No. So I think it's a lot of people being scared, and this kind of might go back to the whole bubble bursting type thing, but on the comic market. But I think it's just people, starting rumors. Though, the internet is a crazy thing, and there's some websites out there that will throw just about any rumor up there.
Yeah, that is true.
But if you have this book, like most of us do, in your collection, why not throw it up, make a couple bucks off of it? Like we said, this was a $1 book, a 50-cent book, couple $1 book, and now you could probably get $10 for it on a good day. So, especially, I don't know if there's a newsstand variant and a hobby variant. If not, but if there are newsstand variants like this one, it says direct sales on it. But if there are a newsstand variant, maybe look for those too. All right, let's get into the list. Here we go. This book is a beautiful cover. This is actually a cover that I wouldn't mind owning. I didn't get big into the whole Jennika wave of craziness that we had a couple months back, but I really like this. This is Freddie Williams III variant, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is the Jennika #1, Freddie Williams III, 1 in 25 variant, selling above ratio at about $30 to $35, but a lot of copies have sold. And it's just a really good looking cover, like Ben says. So I don't know if Freddie Williams III plans on doing other covers like this for the rest of the Turtles or what, if he already has something out there and I just don't know about it. But if there is something that he can do where you have multiple variants of the different Turtles in this style, it'd be something that I would think about buying.
Yeah, I did like the He-Man Thundercats crossover that he did.
Yes,
those are some nice looking books.
Yeah, Freddie Williams III has some really good art, and
it's unique.
He's unique, that's for sure. So make sure you guys check that out if you see it in your comic shop, and you can get it for under $25. It might be worth flipping. So be on the lookout. All right, on to number 9. This is we are pretty repeat heavy this week, which is kind of interesting because usually 1 or 2 repeats might show up, but not more than 2. And we've got a couple of them this week. And this isn't necessarily a repeat, but we did have Bang #1, the Ash Can, on last week.
Yeah, skip the real #1. The first print #1 went from the Ash Can to the second print.
Isn't that so weird? It's so weird. Once you think you got an idea on how the speculation market works, you never know. It's going to throw you for a loop at some point.
Yeah,
so.
Well, it's not even just the market. I mean, it's the publishers. I mean, the #1 just came out. The first print came out last week. They had the second print ready to go like that.
Yeah, they're banking on speculation market, and that kind of scares me too, because once you've got publishers start looking into the speculation market. But that brings up one of our first questions of the night. Your man Stan asks, Peter, is that an IPA in the glass?
Actually, it is. It is a hazy IPA I got here. Hazy Bones.
Well, I messed that up. I tried to do that all special, but got to get better at it, man.
Well, we did it on the fly. We didn't plan it.
Yeah. So, Bang #1, number 9. Second. This is the Bang #1 second print at number 9. So if you guys can find this for cover price, it might be worth picking up. They're selling for around $15, Ben says, which is a pretty good buy-in for a book that has been optioned. And I don't know. We all know what happens with the option hell. It might end up in option hell, but you don't know. This could turn into something good down the line.
Yeah, true. And it's Matt Kent. It could be a good book. I haven't read it yet, so I can't say if it's good yet or not. I have it in my to-do list, but I'd give it a chance.
Yeah.
To read.
Yeah. All right, another repeat this week, but this is the interesting one. This is the Batman 89 Air copy. This is it was crazy last week when we were talking about it. Seems even crazier this week because it doesn't seem like there are very many out there.
No.
If this turns into a Karen Berger type editorial, with Sandman or something like that, or maybe what was there was that one Air of some book where they put a baby in a microwave or something, and it got released in Europe.
It wasn't an Air. That was part of the story. They just recalled it. Was that 80-page giant?
80-page giant, you got it. So there are some Air books out there that sell for a ton, and this one seems to be one of them. What Ben says about this is that not a very big sample size, but a little bit larger than we had last week. Sometime for people to list it if they want to. On eBay, 13 sold copies ranging from $225 to $350 and less than 10 current listings. So once those 10 current listings sell, how scarce is this going to be?
Yeah.
That's the question. Good question.
Yeah, and be careful when you look at those best offers. You see like a best offer selling for $1,000. When you see the actual accepted offer is only $250, like just don't get thrown thinking that it's higher than it is. Not that $250 is a low number by any stretch for this book, but I don't know. The world's crazy these days.
Solo Wookie says the problem with the speculation market is that we have all these freaking crazy guys putting out a top 10 list. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Those freaking crazy guys, man. What up, Chad? Thank you, brother. So I don't know. It's a lot of money selling this, being made, being spent on this air copy. I don't know if it's true, but I want to say we've seen some pretty high, up into $700-800 range for some of these copies.
Yeah, I think the first one went for something like that.
It's just nuts. It really is. Too
much money out there.
Yep.
People with the bigger pockets than they have sense, I think.
Yep. And it's FOMO. It's always FOMO. Always comes down to that fear of missing out, that you're missing out on something that's gonna, pay for a college fund. Trust me, it's never gonna pay for a college fund. So Number 7, another repeat. This is, of course, the one that kind of started it all with all these Punchline books. The Batman number 89, the first cameo appearance of Punchline, which ended up just being her lower face, if I remember correctly. Yep. These are still selling for $40 raw. So I don't know about the other cover, if there's much of a difference in price. But it is a Matina cover. The B cover is a Matina cover, and it's pretty damn cool. So I don't know
the difference really.
Yeah,
and a lot of the A's have been moving better for DC lately than the B's. It's been odd.
Yeah, and I think it's gotten to the point where a lot of people just want to get what they like, and if one cover calls to them than the other, then that's what they're picking up. So, but DC did a really cool thing with the A and B covers, and I got to give it to them. They did something cool with the A and B covers a couple of years ago, and I'm glad they still do it. Number 6, not a repeat of sorts, I guess, is more just along the lines of we've seen a lot of Star Wars and especially Kylo Ren books on the list the last couple months, and the covers have been gorgeous on the Rise of Kylo Ren series.
Yeah, well, some of them are a little wonky, but there have been some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, this one is
Adam Driver's face, aren't the?
Yeah, that one's kind of tough. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have much luck. I guess. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have much luck making that face look good. And no offense to Adam Driver, he did a killer job in that movie, and I think they really saved the whole Kylo Ren character with how he played out in that latest movie, and maybe that's a reason why some of these books are selling so well. And this, of course, is a 1 in 25 variant by Stefano Landini. That's Kylo Ren number 3, and movement this week from around $20 to $25 up to $40 to $45 because of the first appearance. And I'm going to mess this up. It's Avar Chris, I believe.
I think so.
Who's a new character in this issue. So this could see some. It's
a holocron, like hologram appearance. It's not actually the character appearing, but I think everybody's just psyched over Project Luminous, which ended up being that High Republic thing. And the character is going to be out there, so it is the first appearance. But I don't know.
Well, I'm loving a lot of the comic Star Wars stuff that's going on now. I'm loving the raised interest. I'm loving the new characters that we're getting. I just think that this is something that we can all enjoy, and hopefully they'll continue doing cool Star Wars comic stuff.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 5. This is another repeat from last week. Like I said, repeat heavy this week, but for a good reason. This book last week, I want to say it was a maybe $25 book to $50 book because of some of the rumors that we're hearing that this character might show up in the She-Hulk show. Have you heard anything other than just rumors, Peter, about this?
Yeah, it's mostly just rumors, but you add in things that, like Marvel Legends. I think there's a Marvel Legends Red Hulk figure coming out soon, too. So they like cross-promoting and throwing their characters out there when they plan on doing something, usually.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of this character. I'm a fan of Ed McGuinness's art, who had a big input on the character's looks. he did a really good job with the Thunderbolt Ross Red Hulk character. So, but the thing that interests me the most about this is what Ben said in his write-up on comicbookinvest.com for the number 5 book this week. He says, continuing its rise, 9.8s have moved from $200 to $300 in the past week. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And he says this was a stale, maybe $25 raw book a couple of weeks ago. That still seems high for a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I wouldn't have. I would have thought this would have been maybe a $5 book. So to see it 9.8 shoot up from 200 to 300 is pretty crazy. But you never know. This could be a big character, especially if we see him on the small screen or big screen.
Yeah, and that's the market these days. Books out of nowhere skyrocket.
Yep. All right, number 4. This is the first time I saw this cover, I said the same thing that Ben wrote, where he basically said there's something about this cover, just can't put my finger on it, but there's something about this cover that I like, and I agree 100% with him. I'm not I don't have much knowledge in the artist, which is David Nakayama. I know the name, but I feel like I just know that because of Nakayama Towers. So.
Yeah, he's got some good covers. Like he's got some good covers. I threw some of his up on Dollar Bin Digging not that long ago with that Gothic Lolita cover he just recently did on Black Panther or Agents of Wakanda. He's got some nice covers, and he takes some interesting shots. Like I think there was a Mary Jane where he had Hulk in the rearview mirror not that long ago. Like I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good artist. I don't love this cover, but it's not bad.
No, it's not. It's not bad. And what Ben says of it is the same thing I just said, which is crazy because I was telling my buddies on Absolute Geek Podcast the same thing I just said. And then I went to go read what Ben said. And he basically said the same thing I said word for word. He says, I keep telling myself to pick this one up for $20 when it was released, but he didn't. And now it's a $60+ book. There's something about it that I really like, but I just can't put my finger on it. And I agree 100%, Ben. But if you guys can find this book for under ratio, again, it is a 1-in-25 variant. But if you can find it for under $25, I would suggest buying it and flipping it and making.
There's not a lot of these out there. There's not a lot of copies of the Black Cat Strikes, on shelf. So any shop that was getting 25, you'll be lucky to find this.
Yeah. All right, on to number 3, and this is a repeat, an oldie but a goodie. Not from last week, but from many moons ago. It seems like speculators are just really itching to see this character get some news, some info about him making the jump to the big screen. And they've been waiting and stocking up on this book that they printed a gajillion of.
They did. So
X-Men number 4.
Still plenty to be had.
Yeah, you guarantee you can go find this book in bins out at a flea market or at a comic shop for $1 or $2.
Yeah, finding one that's not chewed up at this point is kind of tough, but
and that's why Ben wrote what he wrote, which he says 9.8s were right around the $100 last week, and they've jumped to about $180 after supposed photos of Omega Red on the set of Falcon. True? I don't know. Not sure. To be honest, that's what he writes. And that's interesting because me and Peter were talking about this earlier before we started the show about where this rumor came from. And can you explain a little bit, Peter?
Yeah, there's nothing that I can really point to as like a strong source. Like it's just kind of been thrown out there. And like all the pictures I've seen they're using are the same pictures that just got released as concept art from Deadpool 2 because Omega Red got cut from Deadpool 2. So the concept art is being reused as footage on the set of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I just think it's just nonsense and wishful thinking at this point. Not to say he may not show up, but I really doubt Marvel's going to introduce mutants in this fashion, just by throwing a random villain out there.
Yeah.
They have a much bigger stable of characters to introduce. This isn't going to be it. And I don't think that Wiz in Shang-Chi is even going to be mentioned as a mutant either. So I don't know. They got bigger plans than this.
I know there's some rumors that are hitting hot and heavy as we went live with this video about Henry Cavill maybe taking on the Wolverine role. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, if they're going to bring out Omega Red, which is a great character in my opinion, I love Omega Red. I have since I bought this book off the shelf on Wednesday, back in the mid 90s. But I really think if they're going to release bring the Omega Red character to the big screen, it's going to be in a Wolverine movie or at least an X-Men movie. I don't see it being anything else. I do see it coming. It's just going to take a little time.
No, I agree.
So big shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us live. Shout out to Crook. What up, brother? Your man, Stan, and the rest of you guys, Philip Chung, Rags. We appreciate it. Chad. Thank you guys. Much love out there. All right, on to the top 2. Now, this is my favorite book of the week, and it was another repeat, but for good reason. This is just a cool cover that I think a lot of people didn't really expect for it to catch on, but when you see it, it kind of takes you back, to that era, when the Do the Right Thing movie came out, and it's just a cool cover. It's not a very hot book. That I know of, other than this cover. Is Bitter Root been a big selling book for Image?
I think it got hot. It got hot a while back, but it's been stagnant because it was 5 issues and they took a break, and now this is issue 6 coming back off of that break. But that that Akira variant that was on eBay, that was selling really well from number 1, because I think this got options, so maybe it gets made, maybe that makes it continue to jump. But this is just, I didn't see this at any shop that I went to. Like, not a lot of stores, I think, are ordering 10 copies of Bitter Root and probably forgot that it was coming back.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover.
When these independent published books take breaks, they lose a lot of fan base. We all know, I think it was, 7 to Eternity that happened. There's a couple titles where, it just really
fell off. I haven't heard a lot about Die after the break and came back. And
yeah, so it's not good to take breaks in the comic world, especially if you're an independent publisher. But what's crazy about this book is last week it was on our list, and what Ben states in his article is that he mentioned that a price jump was likely, but moving from $20 to $125 to $200 raw this week. Wow,
insane,
crazy.
I love homage covers, but that's insane.
Yeah, especially for one that a lot of people might not know about. But it's kind of funny. As soon as we throw that up on the screen, people in the chat start saying what a cool cover it is.
It is.
And,
it is. I'd like to have it, but I don't know.
It's not for $200, but we don't know the rarity. Again, like you said, how many people ordered that many copies of Bitter Root number 6 to get the 1 in 10 variants, and how many did they get?
The other variants coming too, because they're not bad.
Yeah.
And movie homage covers coming for that. So again.
On to before we head on to number 1, we want to talk about something interesting that's coming up in March, and that is the Northeast Comic Con, which is a cool event, especially if you guys are part of the CBSI group or like comicbookinvest.com and like what we're doing. If you're out on the East Coast, anywhere close to this, get your butt out there and say hello. We're going to have a lot of CBSI crew out in one place, which is kind of interesting. Get a chance to meet Jon Z, Ben C., and Mike Morello, of course, of toyinformer.com, and another writer at comicbookinvest.com. The one and only Topher is going to be there too. So for all you guys that think the man is a myth, get your butt out there and shake the hand of one of the best, I don't know how to say this, I guess, personalities in comic books today. So I think Topher is a genius when it comes to what he's doing, and very cool cat. So make sure you go out there, say hello to all the CBSI crew. If you got yourself a CBSI shirt or hat, wear it, and let the guys know that you enjoy what we're doing. If you don't have yourself a CBSI hat or shirt, go over to cbsiswag.com and pick yourself up one and wear it at the Northeast Comic Con. Say hello. That is coming March 13th through the 15th. And CBSI is going to have their hand in a lot of the panels and a lot of cool stuff going on over there. But to me, one of the coolest things is that Steranko is going to be one of the guests there. So if you've never had your chance meeting a legend, especially a guy like Steranko, go do it for that reason. Walk up to the guy, say hello, introduce yourself, and trust me, it'll be worth it, because he'll give you a story or two that'll blow you away. He told me the greatest story I've ever heard in comics about the original Batman creator, Bob Kane, Bob Kane, and how much he was loved in the DC bullpen back in the day. So if you get a chance to go say hello to him, I won't ruin the story because he tells it better than anybody else. Ask him what he thinks about Bob Kane.
I'll have to do that. Next time I see him, I'll have to do it. Because last time I saw him at a show, I chickened out. He's there by himself. I'm like, I don't know what to go say. I'm just going to stand for a second.
He's like, he reminds me of like a mob boss. You know what I mean? He's got that nice suit on. He's got the slick back coif, you know. And,
rocking like the turtleneck with the suit jacket. Like it's.
Yeah, he's the real deal, man. He's a good guy. But so check out Northeast Comic Con, March 13th through the 15th. And let's get on to number one. I don't think anybody, thought any different this week what the number one book was, and that's Hell Arisen number one, or as my buddy over at Absolute Geek, Matt, likes to say, Hell Arson number one. It is Hell Arisen. Trust me, I'm pretty sure of that. But this is the first full appearance of Punchline, and it has this book just going crazy. I've seen $80, $70 sales, I believe, for the first couple of days. I want to say there was a guy that was selling a pre-sale of like, I don't know, a complete unopened box from Diamond. I think he wanted he wanted like 20 grand, which turned out to be like 220 books or $220 a book, something like that. It was crazy. It was just a speculator nightmare. I'm sure a lot of people couldn't get one. I know a lot of stores were saying you had to buy issue 1 and 2 before you could get number 3. There were also stores that just were cool and say, no, whatever you want. And
shop I went didn't even know what was going on with it. I had to let them know. I could have bought their whole stack, but I just took a couple and let them know what it was and went about my day.
Yep. And if I had one of these copies right now, I guarantee I'd be putting it on the bay or trying to sell it somewhere. I really don't think there's much in this character. I have a feeling that DC is going to do something like pull the carpet out from under us and like kill her off in the first couple issues after she's.
They're going to try. I mean, when's the last time they've introduced somebody that people have latched onto? They might try too hard is the only thing I would worry about. I mean, they're already doing it and moving up the variant cover from 94 to 92 and trying to clarify, well, no, 92 will be her first full. I mean, I don't know. However many panels you want to count as a full and what's a cameo, it's really up to you. But I'm not going to say the first Chin is a full appearance, but this one, she's in a few panels. She interacts in the story. I mean, is it enough? I don't know.
I think that Art Germ cover is really good, and I feel bad. I don't know how it works with people that might have pre-ordered a bunch of those copies, and now since they changed the cover, if they're going to have to stick with those pre-orders or what, I'm not sure.
I got an email. I pre-ordered it from DCBS. I got an email about it, about the switch saying, do you want to change your order, or you're aware Matina's going to 94? So they did let me know, but I'm still going to stick with the one.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It really is. And again, this is going back to, Kent says, cough, cough, Naomi. Yeah, I mean, I really think, I don't know if this is, how could this be a good thing where the publishers are really trying to play off of the speculation game. I think Donny Cates has been doing that for years. And the publishers are starting to look at it like, we might be able to make a little bit more money if we play to the speculators. I really think they're doing it. I don't know if it's a disservice to the hobby or not. We're not going to get into that, but you can make money on this book right now. So do it. That's my thoughts. Throw it up there, make a couple bucks. If you have issue 8, Batman issue 89 also, hey, make a set 89 in Hell Arisen and sell it for $100 if you're lucky. I would do it. Yeah,
it's tempting. I just don't want a hole in my Batman run. Regardless, that is the fear of like, I don't want to have. I don't want to pay $40 for that book.
I know.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't pay $40 for either of these.
Yeah, that's what we get for being comic collectors.
Yeah,
we can't have a hole in our run.
No, I just wouldn't feel right.
No,
this one I probably could get rid of because I don't have the rest of the mini. But
yeah, it just seems weird. I don't know. I don't know. But again, with all the talk about this 5G craziness and the rumors that are going around about, DC folding or somebody having to buy up the group of characters from DC. I've even heard people get scared, talking about DC would try and sell certain characters off to some group and certain characters off to another group. And what a nightmare that could all become. I just really hope that we don't see that. And we'll end it on a good note on that. So for all you guys that want to check out this list in the future, go to comicbookinvest.com. There is a new Hot 10 list every Friday available for you to help you make a little extra bucks on your hobby collecting account. Maybe buy an extra copy or sell something that you didn't like, and pay for that extra book the following week. Make sure you check out the Hot 10 list every Friday. Yep. Also, check out Peter over at comicbookinvest.com. Peter, what articles do you write so they can go check them out?
Yeah, I do dollar bin digging, which is one of my favorite things to do. Usual Suspects, which I haven't done now since December, as I've been, again, toiling away on that foreign article.
Yep.
But I did, and I also do Wizard Rewind, which I did get one of those out, I think, last week or the week before. But I still got to do February, and February is now over. So it'll be coming in a couple of weeks. I'll do February's.
Well, I can't say enough about your dollar bin article. Dollar bin digging is my favorite thing to do when it comes to comics too. There's nothing more cathartic than going through dollar books and finding a jewel in the rough. Yep. So make sure you go check out Peter over at comicbookinvest.com, along with all the other cool articles you got over there. He did bring up his Wizard Rewind. I'll say it again. I've said it a lot on this show that I truly believe that comicbookinvest.com is the new wizard in the digital comic book age. So make sure you guys go check it out over there. Also check out, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit subscribe and like, and check out Tales from the FlipSide every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, do yourself a favor, and if you haven't caught the foreign comic collecting bug like Peter just mentioned.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Make sure you check out Global Comic Safari, one of the best shows on comics
you don't have to
on
collect
YouTube.
foreign books to not be interested in this, because I haven't dove in to start collecting myself, but I love listening to it. It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, I just received a really cool foreign book that I'm not going to show up close, but I will kind of show from afar. This is a big shout out. Yeah, big shout out to Matt Roybal. And you can find some, if you're a fan of horror covers, I'm telling you, there's no better horror covers than some of these foreign collecting books. Also, if you're a fan of, just getting all the cool variant homage covers, welcome to foreign collecting. But so make sure you check out Global Comic Safari on the same channel where you found this show. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you like sports cards and trading cards, check out our other show, FlipSide Table Breaks, where we like to open up new sports or trading cards live on the air to see what we got, and kind of invite people on to join us. So we'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and we will check you out next time. Say peace, Peter.
Yeah. Later, fellas.